Welcome back to Inner Space. I'm going to show you a few little tricks that you can kind of play with, salt and pepper into whatever it is you're working on your flute, just to give a little bit more flair, a little bit more style, and a whole lot more emotion. Alright, first up, sliding and bending. Basically, when you're going from one note to the next, whatever it is, you can transport yourself from one note to the next all at once, like I just did. Or, if you want, you can slide off that hole and slide right back on. And you're bending the note. You're sliding around on the scale. You can do that on any tone hole, at any time you want, at any speed you want, and you can start adding some feel to it. It's even when you're walking up the scale, it's just a nice way to slide right off at the end. And it's just going to give you a little bit of emotion. Now, when you're sliding on that bass note, you're going to notice it's not very cooperative, and that's because when you're in the upper range, it's a slightly higher airspeed. When you're at the lower range, it's a slightly slower airspeed. So a higher airspeed up here, slower airspeed down here, especially on that last one. That last one is real picky. And so those slides, when you're first doing them, they're going to want to squeak out on you. Next up, we got dynamics. No matter what note you're on, you can hit the note, and you're right there in that butter zone. But it is a zone. There's a low end and a high end. And if you start learning how to play with that, the best way to do it is when you're walking the scale, do a little dynamics test on each one, where you're going to hit it very softly, and you're going to bring it up all the way to the ceiling without breaking it. Don't go through the ceiling, and then bring it right back down. And it's going to sound something like, and that's all that is just knowing where your bottoms of the air speeds and where your tops of the air speeds are, so that when you're playing and shifting around, you can either play it softly or you can play it like you mean it. And that's going to add some flavor. Next up, we got blips. Easiest way to blip. I usually blip with this finger, or if I'm blipping these notes, I blip with this finger. You can blip with any finger you want. You can blip with the one right above it, or you can blip with one consistently. But instead of doing if you're blipping it, every time a finger is setting down or lifting up, you're just going to pop one. You're just going to pop one up and down. So you're going to get, and really, that's all there is to it. You're just adding a little bit of motion. You're just adding a little bit of noise, just creating some more racket, so you give it some more chaos. Because, how smooth is... Actually, I blipped with this finger. I didn't even mean to. But it's just fun when you're chopping it up and making it wild. It's just a little bit of a shape to it. Another fun thing you can do is roll your R. It's just, I probably can't do it off the flute, but it's like a, it's a weird little, but when you're rolling your R in a flute, what you're getting is, and you can do that at any point you want. It's real easy to do once you get it down, and that's just another way you can add a little bit little bit of chunks in the soup, so to speak. And then beyond that, you can hum. You just If you're humming while you're playing the flute, you're gonna get and it's just a fun thing to do. Another thing you can do is when you're done with a phrase, so to speak, you can just pop off and blast some air, and that's going to give it a more dramatic ending. So you can just go from your walk on down to a pop off, and that's just increasing the air speed right when you're coming off, because that much airspeed here is going to squeak out. It's going to sound bad, but that much air on a pop off, you're getting that little bit of nuance at the end. And these are just some fun things you can keep in mind. Sliding, bending, dynamics, blips, rolling your R's, humming, pop-offs. It's just a fun way to take what you're already working on and just shape it up a level into something that's a bit more palatable, a bit more rich. And these are easy things to do, and they're fun. You're gonna have so much fun. It's like because when you're confident enough that your fingers know what they're doing and where they're going, and you're like, why can't I get that flavor I want? Why can't I get that sound you want? Now you can, and anything I can think of that I can put in your hands to just make you love what you're doing more. That's the only reason I'm doing this. I didn't get into flute makers to make them for stages and professional musicians. I got these little indestructible guys that you can just beat up all day long. They're always going to sing like angels, and I'm not going to withhold any information I ever get my hands on or anything I find out. I'm going to be bringing it to you guys first, and it's going to be an adventure, and you're going to have a whole lot of fun. So stick with us, and we'll get you there.